welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're going to do something it feels like we haven't done for a while, right? Which is delve into the world of Transformers comic books from IDW. So this is the latest comic book run from IDW around Transformers. This is Transformers Escape. For those of you who don't know, this is issue 2. Issue 1, I'll link it somewhere around here. And what happens here is this is actually a comic book series focused on some of the inhabitants of Cybertron that are now caught up in this war, and they want to get the hell off the planet. This actually takes place over two things now. So we have Escape, which focuses on the escape, and then we also have War World, which focuses on the war itself. So this is after Rise of the Decepticons, if you've been reading that. So this is actually split into two. This is the ongoing issues of Transformers. I believe this is going to be a 5-part series. This is issue 2. I'm covering both these on the channel now, so go take a look if you want to catch up on War World and Escape. Let's start by taking a look at this awesome cover art. Absolutely fantastic, with both Hound and Wheeljack here on the front, and then we also get this cracking looking picture of Cybertron. Kind of looks like it's imploding right from the core. Just looks fantastic, absolutely great. And there are a couple of variants which we'll take a look at now. On the back there was this variant that I picked up. There was this variant of Diatlas kind of within these crystals resting, because we know at the end of issue 1 he went beep and came back to life. And then there was also, I believe, this one as well, kind of Bombshell looking at Bombshell, which is really nice, kind of artistic, acid trippy type stuff. Cool. So we open up with the story so far, and we know that we saw Hound getting attacked by the Insecticons in the last one. We know that these little green dudes want to get the hell off the planet, and what we need to do here really to make this happen is get the arcs. Straxus has 4 arcs, and Diatlas has just beep and awoken. So main people within this issue will be Wheeljack, the Insecticons, Shockwave, Straxus without his face mask, Road Rage, Nautica, Geomotus, and Hound. We open up here with the Insecticons charging into a secret base, a stronghold for the armies long ago. It was once a secret base for the Rise, but now it's used as a storehouse for Shockwave and his secret experiment. So the Insecticons have gone to see Shockwave to find out what's going on. So the Insecticons meet Skystalker and remind him that he now serves no purpose, whereas they still have a purpose. Skystalker, who did connect with a Titan, but then in previous comics has actually lost that connection to the Titan. So he's kind of just looks like he's going around being a bit of a handyman, doing odd jobs, feeling a little bit depressed. They go into Shockwave's labs, and this isn't Soundwave, this is Sound Blaster here. So they basically have a conversation with Shockwave around what he's doing at the moment, his plans, and apparently they are supposed to be part of some kind of cloning experiment or something that will grow their ranks. And Shockwave is saying basically he's fobbing them off with some kind of excuse. But what we learn from the back here is actually Shockwave already has ideas and concepts around what he wants to do with them. He just doesn't want them to realize actually how powerful they are. The Insecticons in this are definitely pretty OP from what I've seen so far. Then on the outskirts of Iacon, we can now see that Hound and Wheeljack are escorting all of the more flesh creatures out of Cybertron and trying to get them to a safer place so that they're not getting attacked by the likes of the Insecticons, who in this feed on flesh as well as robotic sparks. They're kind of, Hound reminisces back to when he was saving creatures, and they show these creatures that once a year transform lighter than air and float up, and then they mate and then disintegrate, basically mate and disintegrate. And they're saying that while they were doing this guy Meteor Fire used to show everybody such beautiful things of the universe, and he's just reminiscing back basically. But when the rise and everything came, it destroyed people's planets, so these things were lost forever. We then see Geomotus playing with some geometric shapes and trying to work out what's going on, because what they're doing here with Highbrow as well, really nice version of Highbrow here, they need to contact Straxus to try and get these arcs. Straxus, as we see here, with no face cover, so still trying to get to grips with this version of Straxus. I like everything apart from the head on this one, and they want to contact him to try and get the arcs, but Straxus actually wants them to take a look at some investigating that he's done around all of these earthquakes that are happening in and around Cybertron. And basically Highbrow's saying, look, I want to talk about these arcs first, but he goes right over Highbrow's head and talks straight to Geomotus. And Geomotus basically confirms everything that Straxus was talking about. Will actually cause the Sea of Rust to be able to expand and release the worms that reside into it to actually destroy parts of the planet and disintegrate things. Because of this, Straxus has already started readying one of the arcs, and he will release the other three to Highbrow and the other bots to make sure that everybody is safe. So they thought they were going to have to do some real bargaining here, but doesn't look like they actually needed to do too much. Straxus wouldn't be Straxus though if he doesn't flip things round, right? I'm definitely expecting some kind of double cross from Lord Straxus here. We then see Skytread, Flywheels, whatever you want to call him, one of my favourite bots anyway, with some other cons looking to attack this convoy as they leave. Now they're going to do this because Megatron is now in control, and Megatron has not given them permission to leave, so they're going to light them up and show who really has all of the control here. Hound actually starts to scream and shout and say that he needs some support, so Road Rage comes to support, but Road Rage is like, yeah, I ain't built for this, so they ask for some more support. And just as they do this, Die Atlas appears out of nowhere and saves the day, and the cons all fly away because Die Atlas is a legendary general from the Cybertronian wars from years and years and years ago. We then cut back to this facility where the Insecticons are still hanging around, and they decide to talk to Skystalker a little bit. They get Skystalker to open up and become all emotional about losing his Titan and how that feels, and that loss of connection, and how he worries about him and all this kind of stuff. But of course it's all a ruse, because from the back comes Bombshell, and Bombshell plants a Cerebro shell. I love this version of Bombshell. I mean, historically with Bombshell, they would have come out of here, right? The Cerebro shells. But his face cover opens up. This comes out to actually insert the Cerebro shell. I love it. I mean, look at those teeth. He looks absolutely menacing. The Insecticons so far, my favorite design in this. And Skystalker asks them, what are they doing? And they say, recruiting. Bombshell states that the Cerebro shell will take a little time to actually start to work, so they're going to go and do something else, which is obviously for Insecticons, basically feed. But what this means is they can be in two places at once. So Skystalker will now be their boy on the inside with Shockwave to find out what's going on, while they can hunt for resources. Back with the convoy, and we see Mudslinger and Nautica talking to Parajack, or Parayak, whichever one, however it's pronounced, about the guns and making sure that they can actually use the guns. Mudslinger only just finds out as well that flesh creatures are either left or right-handed, and being ambidextrous is an actual skill, whereas for the bots, of course, they don't have to worry about such concerns, which is quite a funny thing to think about, right? We see then cut to a conversation here between Diatlas, Hound, Wheeljack and Road Rage about the encounter that he had with the cons, and he's saying that he has basically become a pacifist. Yes, he was once a great general, although he is surprised that that's what people are calling him, but now he is a pacifist. He believes there is another way. So even though the cons were scared off by him, he actually would not have attacked the cons because that's not in his nature now. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, he's chose the wrong time to wake up because it is now Planet of War. So it will be interesting to see how his character develops as we go through this now. But then they got another call to say that they are in trouble again, the convoy. So Road Rage, Hound, all disappear to go and face off with the Insecticons. And we can see that the Insecticons are jumping on everyone and everything and feed. Road Rage lands, and of course one of the Insecticons jumps on him straight away and starts to munch down on him. Definitely finding out if he's a little heavy on the electrons, and then Hound comes in to try and save the day, but I believe he looks pretty damn outnumbered, so they decide to take his spark. So we'll see what happens here. And now this will be the next issue. So the cover here is of Hound, Wheeljack, Parayak and some of the other ones fighting off the Insecticons for the next issue. I'm super hyped for the next issue. Absolutely loving Transformers Escape. It's not what I thought, to be fair. I thought that when they said that this was going to focus in on the inhabitants of Cybertron, I thought they meant like the average day bot, not the flesh creatures who also inhabit the planet. But I'm still interested, I'm still enjoying it, even though it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. Interested to see how Straxus's development and Diatlas' development comes on, and definitely these are my favourite incarnations of the Insecticons I've ever seen. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments. Are you enjoying Transformers Escape? Have you picked them up? Who's your favourite character in this? And I will see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!